on page 20 over here. So I'm going to learn the difference between in spite of and despite. So you can see the first sentence kind of here, we can say in spite of something and despite. And then the words that I'm going to put over here is a noun form. And then you write down the subject and the verb. That's the sentence kind of here. Usually, if you're going to tell people about the contrast, if you're making a contrast with something, we can start by using the term in spite of something or despite something. In spite of, despite, they share the same meaning. They have the same meaning. So you can say in spite of something, and somebody did something. Okay. So actually, you have learned this term before. It's very similar. The meaning is exactly just like the term we talked about, although. I believe you know what although is, right? So, yeah.
你还好吗？因为他昨天去拔智齿哦，然后昨天
不是啊，不是，
你不是那不是拔，你不是切牙龈哦？
对啊，可是那不是智齿，那是
长歪的。
对恒齿在牙龈上面。
切还没有痛死了我妈！
他昨天缝针，然后血流不停，然后昨天晚上
我跟你讲没有缝他没有缝针他没有给我缝然后所以就一直爆血
啊，所以他昨天半夜又去挂急诊啊，所以他下午没上数学课啊。
他下了。好恐怖。
对，所以我才问他说你还行哦。
Okay, so actually the meaning of the term in spite of is exactly the same as the meaning of the word although. However, when I'm making a sentence, when you're using the word although, you're going to write down in the way it looks like a sentence.
哎，还有一个要试听，对，我今天有2个。
好，那好，
渔场放外面。
那还要再印一份。
赶快上去跟他
知道
讲。
第几页吗？刚刚那个。对对对，那你要再上去找对吗？这边
有
有，
叫维凯上去就好。
那边有对。这边，你是主委。
对，他主委。
那是英文单词。那是英文单词。
19。
你觉得问题在哪里？
因为是国三跟高中的暑假太废，都没有训练，所以就那个就退化掉。
OK。
原本英文还不错的，只是那个文法的东西都忘掉了。
哦，文法都忘掉了。
然后差不多就是有些专有名词，可能就是运用问题，就不敢选，然后就选错。
好。所以你觉得有一部分是文法，那单字背得起来吗？
我单词是可以背得起来。
OK， 好。先说，然后帮你印一下。我刚刚讲会不会太快？还 OK 吗 ？OK 哈。差别在哪里？差别在哪里？Although跟 in spite of 跟 despite。
就是although后面要放一个完整的主词加动词，
对。
然后 in spite of 跟 despite 后面要加名词，然后再加那个主词动词。
对，就刚才讲的，很好，那你听力真的很好，很厉害。OK， 我们刚刚等一下要讲那个20页的语法，要讲那个 in spite of 跟 despite 的差别。哪里？你以后想要出国留学吗？
我有想过，可是应该不会。
为什么？
因为爸妈还是希望我读台湾的大学，然后，应该可以耶，就是短暂。
你如果说高中，你如果像国外的他的那个 college， 它有分2年制跟4年制，所以你如果真的有考虑的话，你可以选自己喜欢的兴趣，然后去试试看，对啊。而且大学有分野鸡大学跟 名牌大学。所以像只是说他那个出国留学的话，他那个费用会比较高一点。以前大概10年前、20年前，美国1年大学的学费大概是5万美金，现在大概要7万。我是说好的大学，但是相对来讲，你如果说是真的念那些名校的话，你通常还没毕业，人家就把你抢走了，直接公司就会来找你。所以如果有兴趣的话，是真的可以考虑。但是可能就是要多练习口说。好，所以我们现在有实验 ，OK 吗 ？Okay, so we're going to talk about the difference between although and the despite in spite of. So this will turn this in a bit. They are the same thing we talked about. However, we're going to use only noun. And stands for noun. You're not going to write down a sentence right after despite or in spite of. You want to simply put a noun over here. So let's take a look at the first example here. The first example is that although it rained heavily, the game was held as scheduled. So do you know what the word schedule is? What is a schedule? A schedule is something you plan to do in the future time. Okay, that is a schedule. It could be your daily routine or something you are going to do. That's a schedule. All right? Okay? All right, so in the first sentence, although it rained heavily, the word heavily over here, you have to put ly. The reason why you have to put ly over here because it is used to modify your verb over here. Whenever you're going to modify a verb, you should use an adverb. An adverb, the way that we do an adverb is simply put ly over here. So the first sentence is that although it's rained heavily. When you are going to use the term although, so you must write in a sentence way. It means that you have a subject, you have a verb, you have the complete meaning of something. So although it rained heavily, and then it said that the game was held as scheduled. The game was held as scheduled. Notice that the difference between English and Chinese is that usually when we say the word although, 我们中文讲虽然，但是我们讲但是，对不对？ However, in English, if you write down the word although, you cannot write down the word but because both of them are conjunction. Conjunction means that you're going to put two sentences together. That's what we call conjunction. So if you write down the word although, you do not put but over here. All right. So the sentence is that although it rained heavily, the game was held as scheduled. So the term as scheduled means that maybe the game will be tomorrow and it will not be delayed to another time. It will be held as scheduled means that we will still do it on the same day as you planned. Alright? Okay? So in this sentence we have over here, this is something you learned before. In high school, we want you to know how to use the term in spite of something or despite something. Alright? The meaning of the term in spite of is the same as the meaning of although. However, when we try to make a sentence, you cannot write a sentence like subject verb. We only write down a noun right here. So think about it. What is the noun that we're going to write up here? If we're going to use the term in spite of. Anyone want to give it a try? If we're going to write down in spite of, well, in spite of means although, okay? But you can only put a noun. So think about it. Did you see any noun up here? In spite of? Anyone want to give it a try? Although 就虽然 ，in spite of 也是虽然，它们造句上最大的差别就是 although 要加一个句子的样子，要写主词，要写动词。 可是你写 in spite of 就只能写名词的概念了。那我要怎么样把 although it rained heavily 把它转换成 in spite of， 就一样的意思哦，但是写法不一样而已。So think about it. How are you going to do it? First of all, although it rained heavily, right? So the rain of here is a verb. Rain can also be a noun. So I can simply write down the rain over here. In spite of the rain. But there's also one word is heavily over here. So should I write down heavily over here? Cannot. Because rain, in this case, is the noun form. So we're going to simply use the adjective to modify the rain over here. Okay? So do you know what is the adjective of the word heavily? No? No? Yeah. This is adverb. Heavily is adverb. Just like when we talk about happy, happy is an adjective. Happily is an adverb. Okay? So we have happily over here, but over here we're going to use an adjective to modify the word rain. So can I copy the word heavily? No. So what am I going to do? Okay. So what am I going to do? Heavy, that's right. So the answer I'm going to do over here is simply change it back to heavy. Okay? So it will be in spite of the heavy rain, the game was held as scheduled. Alright, so that's the answer to the first question. So you just simply copy the rest of the sentence. The game was held as scheduled. The game was held as scheduled. Alright, so that's the answer to the first one. Okay, I'm going to tell you the difference between the in spite of and despite. Right, so we finished the first question over here, and then we have another question over here. It's like the large meal he ate, Neil still felt quite hungry. Okay, so think about it. What is the answer to the first question? Which is the correct answer? Do you have a correct answer in your mind? Feel free to tell me your answer. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. If you know everything, then you wouldn't be here. The large, I'm going to write down the question over here, and you can think about what your answer might be. Okay, any idea about what's going on here? Like the large meal he ate, Ned still felt quite hungry. And number 3 is that blank, he ate a large meal. 当你遇到空格的时候，英文把它念成 blank， 也有人把它念成 space。所以我在念句子的时候遇到空格，我会念 blank，OK？ 不是念新的单词。Blank, the large meal he ate, Ned still felt quite hungry. So I'm going to start with asking you. So what do you think the answer to the first question over here? Is this despite, although, though, in spite of the fact that? What do you think? A. What about you? What do you think? B. Okay. B. Okay. What about you? 你觉得是几？也是猪 ，OK？ 好。Actually, although means is bite off the fact that. Alright? These two is followed by a sentence here. Okay? So in this case, if you think B is correct or D is correct, B means B, C, D are the same thing. So the answer should be A, is right. Okay. Alright? But this one thing that sometimes students are confused is that, but I see subject and the verb. So what answer is to despite? What do you think? Your answer is totally right. But I want to know, I do see he and ate. So can I write down the word although? Think about the question. The answer is despite, yes. But what's wrong over here? Because you can see the next question over here, this is he, this is ate. We got also subject, the verb over here, okay? But in this case, you can see there's something a little bit different is that the large meal. And he ate over here, this is an adjective clause. An adjective clause is a clause used to modify the antecedent, the noun form over here. So actually, this is not what we talk about. This exactly what we're going to talk about is the large meal. The large meal is a noun form up here. He ate is used to modify the term the large meal. So in this case, it's not a term, although. In this case, we're going to write down the word despite the large meal. And then in this sentence over here, because we say he ate a large meal, this is the sentence level here. So what do you guys think? Once again. 老师刚才解释听得清楚吗？确定吗？来，我再解释一下哈。我通常会先让你们听英文，然后有些同学如果卡，我就会用中文讲解一下。OK， 好，来这个地方是这样子。一样有主词动词，对不对？可是为什么这里却不可以写 although？ 这些都是一模一样的意思哈，中文都是虽然，可是 although 要加句子 ，in spite of the fact that 也是要加句子。如果只有 in spite of， 那就只能加名词，这个先厘清这一点啊。那为什么这里呢是要只能写 despite？ 就是刚才那个东西讲的，它只能写 spite of， 因为这里一顿大餐是名词。后面只是多了一个形容词去修饰它，所以这个句子的写法是指，尽管虽然吃了这么多，对不对？然后他还是很饿，所以说尽管他吃了一顿大餐，所以这后面加的那个是没有是名词的概念，请说。
所以 in spite of 跟 despite
都是一样的意思，但是都是一模一样的东西，都是虽然的意思，都是尽管的意思，只是写法不一样。高中跟国中最大的差别就是说他只是把那个句子再教你很多不同的写法而已，所以会有句型的问题。OK， 好，所以刚这个第一个结束了哈，对不对？好，我们看第二个。What do you think? It's kind of tricky, right? You cannot find the answer you want, right? Can you find the answer you want? 你选谁？你选 C 吗？你超厉害的，你又选对了。可是怪怪的，对不对？心里面会不会觉得很不踏实？你觉得呢？
我也是 C。
你也是选 C？ 哇，你们俩好厉害，为什么？为什么是 C？
因为刚刚知道说这两个是一样的上面的就是名词加动词。
对，所以你是用三句法。
对，所以前面两个删掉。
厉害，厉害。对。
这个什么鬼的，然后它应该是其他的意思，就好像有看过。
对，那个超常出现的 uncover 是什么意思？对，因为由于的意思。uncover 就是 because of。account 这个字 就是有的时候你们在背片语的时候，你可以稍微去想一想那个片语到底是什么意思。这个你不知道什么鬼，对不对？你先看你知道的，count 是什么意思 ？Can you count from 1 to 10? Count. Count down. The Chinese New Year, you go to Taipei 101, 10, 9, 8. What are you doing? You're count down. 所以 count 什么意思？
所以什么到什么的意思？
对，所以 count 是 count， 就是数数的意思。所以这个字代表说明的意思。你有没有看过那个教科书里面要说明某个东西来？1是什么，2是什么？有没有？所以条列式数给你看它有几个重点。所以考你不就是说明吗？所以我前面这个东西我说明给你看，所以后面加的就是你的原因。所以 avocado 就是因为的意思。OK， 稍微理解一下那个字词的意思。
那个because跟 because of 是在差吗？
哦 ，because 跟 because 就是这个的差别。because 加句子。
哦，
Because of 加名词，
哦，一样的。
一样，这是一样的，就是很讨厌啊。because 是加句子，它 because 是加名词，很好。你有随时有问题要像这样随时问的，我才很清楚的知道。这里要告诉你这个字，尤其在大考当中，要特别小心它。OK， if you're going to use, you don't understand the word while. First of all, you have to know what it means. What does the word while means? There are 3 possibilities for you to try to understand the meaning of the word while. Okay? When you see the word, there are 3 different kinds of usage that you can learn to use. For example, if I say while I was sleeping, Dad was working. Or you can say, Dad was working while I was sleeping. Okay? That's the first meaning of the word while. Well, when you see the word while, there are 3 possibilities. I mean, the meaning of it, there are 3 different meanings. The first meaning is that I'm telling you these guys are doing the same thing at the same time. Okay? So in the first example, while I was sleeping, Dad was working, means that when I was sleeping, Dad was working. Sleeping and working happened at the same time. Okay? You can also write down the while clause in the beginning or in the end of the sentence. They share the same meaning. They still mean the same. Dad was sleeping while Dad was working while I was sleeping. So when you see the word while, one possibility is that I am telling you that these 2 actions happen at the same time. Okay? And the second meaning of here is exactly what you see over here. I can say, while he is rich, he is not happy. In this case, it's totally different. In this case, when you see the word while, I'm not telling you that these 2 actions were happening at the same time, right? Sleeping, working at the same time. Here, you didn't see any action over here. I want to tell you about rich and not happy. Usually, if you are rich, you should be very happy, right? So in this case, while means although. Although he has a lot of money, actually he's not happy. Okay, so in this case, while means although. And And another way that you're going to construe the word why is that he is rich while he is not happy. Then in this case, it means but. So when you see the word why, there are three possibilities that you should keep in mind. why 有这个字的3个中文意思，你可能要稍微想一下下。如果我解释的太快或者讲不清楚，你要像刚才那个同学一样随时问哦，不要不好意思问我啊。所以你看到 while 的时候，大部分的同学都是停留在 while 就是当什么什么的时候嘛，对，那是指2个动作同时发生的时候。可是呢，如果你在高中里面看到 while， 它可能有虽然的意思，那就摆句首；它可能也有但是的意思，那就摆句尾。所以纯粹看它出现在它的句子里面啊。通常呢 while 就是2个主要的功能，第一个连接2个同时的动作，第二个连接2个对比的动作。You are going to tell people about the contrast. Contrast. Happy, sad. Rich, poor. Tall, short. Contrast. Okay, you're going to make a contrast. Contrast 是对比的意思，他们在对比的句型 ，OK 吗？好，所以有钱对比快乐，照理讲有钱会快乐嘛，所以它会在句子里面呈现对比效果，这个就是 why 这个字。所以到这个地方，我们快速的回忆整理一下，虽然可以讲 although， 对不对？事实上也可以讲成 why。他们后面都要加句子，可是如果你只有写 in spite of 或者是 despite， 后面帮我加名词就好。那你硬要在 in spite of 跟 despite 后面写上句子的样子，那就要看后面要再加上东西了。OK， 好，那第一个我们解释完了哈，第二个跟第一个感觉一下。差别在什么地方？你可以我先整理一下黑板，那你们可以先看一下第二个句型。What is the difference between the first sentence pattern and the second sentence pattern? Do you have any idea of what is going on here? Well, I don't know if you can understand this sentence pattern here or right, but I want to tell you something about just like, I'll give you some example first to quickly remind what you have learned before. For example, it is very hot here, and I'm asking you that, would you mind if I open the window? Alright, if I think it's very, very hot and there's no air conditioner and I want to open the window, so the next day ask you that, okay, would you mind if I open the window? Alright, okay, so now we need to write down the sentence over here is that, would you mind? So think about the question that, who is going to open the window? You or I? Who is going to open the window? I, right? Okay? So you can also, another way for you to write it down is would you mind my opening the window? This is what you have learned before. 这个是你以前国中应该知道的，就是说写句子的时候你要写主格 ，OK？ 这是主格嘛？这是所有格，可以吗？主格所有格知道吗？这是我，这是我的，对不对？这是写句子，以后面要加句子嘛。那如果你要把它写成名词，你想要把那个动词名词的话，这个时候你就要把那个主词写成意义上的主词，那就变成了所有的，这里就不会写 I opening， 就写 my opening， 你就把它想象成这个，这个叫做动名词，是不是一种名词？动名词为什么要叫动名词？因为它让它具有名词的特性，可以接受吗？那名词的前面，这是我的车 ，This is my car。名词的前面要写什么格？所有，可以吗？所以这个句型在告诉你说，虽然这两个后面是要加名词，对不对？那如果你后面要加上一个动名词怎么办？然后加一个动作是要把它名词化，对不对？这要加 ing， 所以前面就要写什么格？所有格，看那个动作用的是谁做的 ？Alright, so the ones over here is the possessive. Possessive is telling you that who is doing the action. It could be mine or you or his or her. It depends on who you were talking about in the very beginning. If you're talking about I, then this is mine. This is he, and this is his. All right, you have to change it to possessive here. And then you have to use the gerund form. This is a gerund. Gerund means that you put ing in the end of verb. That's a gerund. However, there are two kinds of gerund we can use over here. We have VING or having with past participle. If you're going to use having with past participle, it means that this action happened earlier than this one. Okay, that's the difference between that. And if you're going to use VING, another meaning is that you're telling people this is an active voice, not a passive voice. Okay, the difference between active voice and passive voice is like that. I hit him. This is what we call an active voice. However, if I start a sentence by saying he was hit by me, then this is not an active voice. This is what we call a passive voice. 知道我说什么吗？这个叫做什么是主动？这个叫做被动。OK， 如果是主动，你就写 VING 这一种 ，This is an active voice。Alright， 如果你写 happy，代表这个动作比较长。OK， 所以一跟二很像哦，一是后面加名词，对不对？二是说如果遇到动词被名词化，你那个是名词是动词名词化来的，那你前面可能会有个所有的，就是它原本意义上的主词。That's the second sentence we're going to talk about. Okay, so let's move on to the first question. Is that although Jim was angry, he pretended nothing had happened. And I want you to rewrite a sentence by using in spite of something. So you can think about how you are going to rewrite a sentence. If you have any question, please ask me at any time so that I can help you. Otherwise, this is not that difficult. Okay? So there's one thing I will give you a quick reminder here is that what is the word pretend mean? Pretend. Do you know what pretend means? No? 假装对啊，对，假装。You don't know it, but you want people, you act like you know it. Pretend. 假装。Although Jim was angry, he pretended nothing had happened. Right? Once again, we want to rewrite a sentence by using the term in spite of. Okay. I'm going to show you the easier way for you to make it. First of all, you have to think about the word angry. Okay? So, what is the part of the speech of angry? You know, part of speech. Usually we say POS. Part of speech. When you are learning English, part of speech is very important. It tells you that whether it's a noun or an adjective or an adverb, that is a part of speech. OK？ 是什么？一个字的什么？词性，英文叫做 part of speech. Alright? Because we're talking about noun or gerund, so you must know the part of speech in the beginning so that you know how to change the way that you want. Alright? So the word we have over here is angry. So what is the part of speech of the word angry? Is it an adjective? Adverb? Noun? What is it? Angry. Angry bird. So angry? Adjective, very good. Thank you very much. So this is an adjective. So we did it in the way that we write down a sentence level, right? However, if you're going to write down in spite of, we have to think about how are you going to change the word angry to a noun form. Do you put ing after angry? No, of course not. So what are we going to do? Can you think of the word to replace angry in a way that noun form? No? Angry? Anger. Just like hungry, hunger. Thirsty, thirst. Alright? So this is the adjective, this is the noun form. Okay? Alright? And one more thing is that I want you to know it's not me who is angry, it's not anybody, it is Jim. So the way that we're going to write out Jim up here, we cannot simply put J-I-N over here. What are we going to do? We're going to use possessive over Jim, right? I mean, because I know it's Jim, it's not somebody else. It's not Mary, it's not you, it's not I, it's Jim. So in spite of Jim's anger. Okay, so yes, over here we're going to use Jim. So we're going to use possessive to tell people about it. So this is still the first sentence pattern view. So you have to try to change to the way that fits the sentence pattern over here. Alright, so in spite of Jim's anger, he pretended nothing had happened. So that's the answer to this question. OK， 好，因为 angry 它不能变，它怎么变名词的？它就变 anger 了嘛，它就不是加进去了。好，那如果是有动词那种，才会思考一下啊。Although Matt had eaten a large meal, he still felt quite hungry. We're going to use the term despite, so you can think about what is the answer here. Despite. The second question here. Okay. Before we move on, I got one question for you, and I hope to hear your answer. Is that, do you really know what it means up here? Sometimes you can see sentences like, I have eaten. Is there any difference between I had eaten, or I ate, or I was eating? So what exactly are the differences between them? Do you really understand everything? That is the question I want you to think about. I eat breakfast, I had eaten breakfast, I had eaten breakfast, I ate breakfast, I was eating, even I am eating. So these are the different terms of the verb. So do you really know what I mean? Think about the question that I have over here. Okay? For example, if I say, I eat breakfast, or maybe I eat sandwiches for breakfast. So what am I telling you? What do I mean? It doesn't mean that I am eating sandwich right now. I'm telling you that eating sandwich is my habit. I don't eat hamburgers. I don't eat congee. I eat sandwiches. Alright? You're telling people about what you do. You're telling people your habit, your routine. I eat sandwiches for breakfast every day. Alright? Something like that. You're telling people your habits. So if there's a timeline over here, this is now, this is past, this is future. Right? If I'm going to say, I eat breakfast every day, imagine that you hear the sentence. If you want to illustrate it on the timeline over here, how are you going to do it? You simply put like, every day, right? So this is one day, this is the second day. So every day. Yeah, maybe in the past I eat sandwiches every day. Maybe in the future I will keep eating sandwiches every day. Anyway, when I say I eat sandwiches every day, I'm telling you what I do for these days is my habit. Alright? Okay? Comparing with that, this one is relatively very apparent. It's that I ate sandwiches for breakfast. It means that in a very, very specific time in the past. It could be here, but there's only one place you are going to mark it. Alright? This is I ate sandwiches for breakfast. Maybe yesterday or maybe last week. I don't know. You just tell me a specific time. It's not your habit. It is something you did before. Alright? Okay. And also, the term that I was eating, then we're going to narrow down to an even smaller time. If I say I ate sandwich for breakfast yesterday is a big idea. But if I'm going to use I was eating sandwich for breakfast, you're going to narrow down to a specific time. Like I was eating sandwich at 7 o'clock yesterday morning. So I will know exactly what you were doing at that specific time. Alright? You're going to downsize to a very specific time. As used, I was eating. Okay? And then here comes the two questions over here. I have eaten sandwiches for breakfast, or I have eaten. What exactly is the difference between them? If I'm going to draw the timetable here, I'm going to do one more time over here. It's much like this. This is now, and this is something that happened in the past, and this is the future. If I say, now you understand I eat breakfast, right? It's what you use your habit, and this is something you did before. This is narrowed down to a specific time of here. So the only difference you have to understand is that what is the difference between have eaten and had eaten. Alright? Okay? So have eaten means that this is present. Present. This is past, right? Okay? So this is present perfect, this is present perfect tense, this is past perfect tense. The difference between them, if you say I have eaten, it starts from a specific time in the past. I didn't tell you when I started. For this time, it's like I have eaten. Okay? We start from a time in the past. And this action continues until now. That's why we call it present perfect tense. And if we're going to use I have eaten, it means that we also start from the previous time and then it ends sometime in the past. There's nothing to do with now. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'll give you one example. Now is 2023, right? When I was in the Navy, you know Navy? Navy is a kind of soldiers. You have to fight on the battleship. Okay? Alright? So when I was Navy, I was in the USA. Okay? So I should say, I have stayed in the USA or I had stayed. Which one is correct? Now it's 2023, right? Am I in the USA now? No, for some time in the past, the period of time, I was in the USA. I was telling you that there was a period of time I was doing that. So when we use the term had with past participle. Okay? And sometime earlier in the past. That's exactly what it means here. So although Matt had eaten a large meal, he still felt quite hungry. So the last thing that I want you to understand is that the difference between past tense and past perfect tense. Okay? So once again, this is now. Maybe this is 7 o'clock, this is 7:30. Okay? The train, maybe the train left at 7 o'clock and I got to the station at 7:30. Okay, so the train left at 7. This one is earlier. This one is later. I got there at 7:30, right? I was late. So when people are telling you that two actions, you want to tell people which one happened first. The first one happened, we're going to use past participle. You know what I mean? So I'm supposed to say, after the train had left, I got to the train station. So I'm telling you that the train left earlier. Okay. 过去完成式跟过去式的比较，如果同个句子同出现过去完成式跟过去式，它会告诉你什么事情？这个动作比较早发生，早于过去式。这个动作比较晚，就这样而已。它只是把两个一样发生在过去的动作，他想要告诉你哪一个比较早，他就会给你暗示说，哦，我就写成过去完成式那个，就是过去比较早的那个。这样知道吗？所以你再看看这个句子哦。虽然他吃一大堆了，他还是饿，所以他先吃还是先饿？虽然他先吃了一大堆嘛，对不对？可是他那时候还是觉得很饿，与现在无关。OK 了吗 ？Alright. So after you understand these ideas, you can think about how you're going to rewrite the sentence. Any idea? 有人要试试看吗？Despite. 把 despite 写完之后，第一个问题，这个地方如果我要写吃的话，吃是一个动作，对不对？那就要套这个句型，是不是？那这两个的差别在哪里？这样会看了吗？它是先吃，对不对？它本来就写完成这个，你看了吗？如果这边写过去式，哦，就写这个嘛。这个比较早，对不对？所以我这一笔就是要做这个事情。OK， 所以你要把 had 变成谁 ？having 一针造型。来，那这个要不要写？有没有看到这个有个括号？为什么我括号呢 ？net 是不是就是它？那你还要再写一次吗？就不用了，所以就变成 after having eaten a large meal. And don't forget about the he over here. What does he refer to? We're talking about net. So you don't copy the word he, you have to write down the word net so that I know who you're talking about. So net still felt quite hungry. Okay. 有问题要随时问我。挑战一下第三题。来，请说，请说。
就是他的跟他，然后那他的是在哪个区间？当是介绍他的跟他，然后他的在哪个区间？就是
我们平常写句子的时候，写成 having had， 它有可能就是 has 或 had， 看不出来。我们平常写句子不会这样写，但它这里是因为不写主词，但是我写这样，我还是会知道这个早于它。它这个动作，我写这样对不对？代表什么意思？我再告诉你，这个比较早，这个比较晚。可是如果这边写 eating 哦，我就没有特别强调这两个早晚先后的关系。哦，他只是要告诉你先后的关系。OK。
我知道。
好，还有问题吗？没有，看下面那个选择，你会觉得我太好奇了。Once more, despite once more, the house is comfortable. 恭喜你们都答对了，答案就是选 B 没有错，对不对？因为它没有动词嘛，那我就加 be 音啊，对不对？因为是否是形容词。好，这个也没什么太大的问题了。Okay, and then we have the last part of it is the way is a little bit different from what we have over here. Now you can take a look at the difference between sentence pattern 2 and sentence pattern 3. What is the difference between them? Well, actually, the difference is only that it's whether it is an active voice or it is a passive voice. That is exactly the difference between them. Okay. Okay, do you notice the difference between them? What is the difference? This is what we call active voice. This is the passive voice. 主动跟被动。OK，我可以讲说，虽然我被骂嘛，对不对？那你就要照这样写，你不可以写 scolding， 你写 scolding 你骂人家。OK 吗？这两个差别就在于主动的差别跟被动的差别。就你虽然的那一句到底是主动的还是被动，会决定你的动词写法不一样。Okay? So let's take a look at the first one here is that I was rewarded for my effort, but I didn't feel happy. We're going to use the term in spite of something to rewrite a sentence. So you can think about how you're going to do it. Reward 是奖赏的意思啊，然后那个 effort 是努力的意思。因为我的努力，我被赐予了奖赏了，对不对？不过我其实也没有觉得很开心，他的意思是这样。真的好。题目是英文写某个，所以它写了 but。英文是多么，写了 over 就不要写，要写 but 就不要写。那你写了 over 就不要写。OK， 好，我看你们答案都对了，很好，来，答案是这样子啊。being rewarded。好，那个 my 可以省略，因为后面就是 I， 对不对？好 ，Is my being rewarded for my effort？ 然后后面的那个段词就不要写了 ，I didn't feel happy at all。Number two, even though the for has been marked several times, it looks dirty.我补充一下我刚才讲的那个所谓的并列式的连接词啊，就是有三组字词，大概知道一下。你觉得那个地方是谁？我没写的那个字，这个你都知道哦。虽然跟但是只要写一个字就好了，英文。我们中文是都写哦，我们中文叫并列式，就是中文我们在造句子的时候，虽然他很有钱，但是他不开心。虽然跟但是这些字都一定要写出来。英文的角度是，你要连接两个句子，写一个连接词就好。所以你写了 although 你就不要写 but， 你写了 because 你就不要写 so， 你写了谁就不要写 or。or 是什么意思？否则，所以否则配谁？虽然配但是，因为配所以。U 开头 S 结尾 有印象 ？Unless, very good. Unless 就不要配偶 ，OK？Unless you apologize to me, I will not forgive you. 就不要再写了。就是这是中文跟英文他们这两个语言之间比较大的旗舰啊，就是想法不大一样，在形成句子的时候。Okay, so you can try to take a look at the second example here. Although the floor has been mopped several times, it looks dirty. Okay. 看一下那两个时态的差别。前面是 has been mopped， 后面写的是 looks。前面是现在完成式，后面是现在式，对不对？所以这种时候，完成式跟简单式的对比之下，就代表说地板已经先被拖过了。可是怎么现在看起来还是那么脏？它的意思是这样 ，OK 吗 ？OK 好，来，那就试着再把它写成 despite 的话，就变成了 despite the floor。刚刚 despite I being 还是 mine？ 如果你要写的话，要写什么的？所有的，不然就是直接，因为它后面也是 the floor， 对不对？所以就直接写 despite having been， 这样是不是最快？然后后面再把 floor 写出来，这样比较 concise， 比较经典一点。Besides having been mopped several times， 然后后面再继续写，它整个地板还是那么脏。The floor looks dirty。这是第二题了。到目前为止会太快吗？自己稍微脑袋整理一下，消化吸收一下你刚才听到什么东西，然后要记什么东西，有没有办法上课就先记过一遍？它们的差别在哪里？因为前面如果没差别，我都没问题，我们就要开始讲第四个。So what is the last sentence pattern we have over here? We simply want to level it up. This is the noun, and this is the gerund form. However, if you want to write down the sentence level, you simply put the fact that after in spite of and in spite. So we can say in spite of the fact that, and then with a sentence. All right. So that's the last one we have over here. We can return you that you simply put the fact that, in spite of the fact that, or despite the fact that. And then you do not have to worry about that. You can only write on the noun, the restriction over here, you simply write on the sentence over here. Because in this case, you can write on the sentence. Okay? That's the last pattern we have here. So we can take a look at the example here is that in spite of his laziness, he succeeded in the end. And we want to see the sentence the way in spite of the fact that. So we can try to think about how you want to finish the sentence up here. 虽然它的惰性很强，最后还是成功了。那如果我把它写成 in spite of the fact that， 那就变句子的等级啦。那句子的等级就是要有主词，要有动词。那你稍微去想一想，我们要怎么样去还原它的主词动词？ Okay, so let's check the answer to see if you get it correct over here. In spite of the fact that, well, originally we write down that his laziness. So we are going to, his is a possessive, so we are going to write it in the subject. So this is subject, right? And laziness, this is a noun. So I'm going to use it, the term like it's lazy, right? So this is the adjective. And don't forget about the be verb over here, okay? So the be verb here is that because you can see the term succeeded. This is the past tense. So we are going to write down what it was, okay? To make it tense, it goes with each other. All right? So we got the last one here. Jill failed the audition. Do you know what audition is? Audition is that if you want to become an actor in a movie or you want to become a singer, you have to join the audition. They will see if you have the talents to be an entertainer. All right? So this is what we call entertainer. Entertain is the verb, and then you put er, then it's what we call entertainer. If you want to be an entertainer, what is an entertainer? An entertainer can be a singer, an actor, a clown. It could be anything as long as you entertain people. Alright? Entertain 动词就是娱乐，做一些表演，不管你是唱歌、演奏乐器、讲笑话，透过你的表演来娱乐大众的人，这是什么人？艺人啊，对啊，所以叫艺人。OK， 那 entertain 就是娱乐的意思。Entertain. So if you want to become an entertainer, you probably have to pass the audition, right? You want to see if you have the talent for whatever you want to do. maybe you're a magician. Wow, that's cool. So they want to see if you're really capable of doing that. So the answer to this question is, despite the fact that 这条写到后面，对不对？ 很好啊，非常好 ，very good。所以前面应该写他 jail。 failed the audition, okay, despite the fact that she， 然后后面呢，你仔细看哦，原本写的是 diligence 是名词。 变成形容词的话，你要把它变成 diligent， 勤勉、勤劳的意思。然后要小心的是，还是一样啊。现在有没有很认真，我不知道。可是当时他要去试镜之前，他那个时候应该是每天都很认真。 所以比较建议你这边的时态跟刚才一样，最好两个搭配起来会比较顺畅。因为他那时候很认真嘛，虽然那时候很认真啊，很可惜他到最后还是没上。所以 diligent 是形容词 ，diligent 是它的名词的变化，所以一个是形容词的变化，一个是名词的变化。 好，我们通常讲完文法之后，就会让同学现场验收一下，看看学会了多少。所以下一页有12个题目，我强烈建议你哈，再把内容再消化吸收，稍微内化一下下，想一想刚才发生了什么事情，然后都 OK 了，就开始挑战看看这12题你可以写对几题。好，压力不要太大。 好，你就尽力吧，看看，有可能是我刚什么地方讲解不清楚啊，或者是什么地方你观念可能你没有打通，那你也不好意思问，反正我们要做题目就知道了，好不好？好，希望你的这个马上学完，可以立刻知道你们到底会有多少。陈，这怎么哦，你是张旭的后代哦，很吵哦。宏大的宏吗？
对。
OK， 好，火红。有问题吗？有问题随时问我哦。没有的话就挑战看看。 中国的国，对不对？
哦对，
对啊。你要评分的吗？还要讲，反正好25号确定再说话，对不对？号码是25号，23号，所以你是一考完就对了。所以前面47了，而且还没告诉我。没有错啊，不错。你可惜你太晚来了，你要是再早点来，对不对？对呀、你都已经高三上，你看高三上才来啊，太可惜了。不然你早点来，然后笔试就怎么都打好。你如果写的时候，你里面有那个内容哪一个字看不懂，卡住了，问我一下啊。 可以啊，可以啊。对，你知道哪里吗？我把答案写在上面，都好了吧？好。1到5是 A C A B A， 红笔改一下下 ，A C A B A， 然后6到10是猪 B B A B， 猪 B B A B， 11、12是猪 C， 一题10分，满分120，然后跟我讲一下你得了几分，然后看是出哪几题，我快速的讲解一下这个题，好不好？来，一凯，用120扣一题10分。哦，厉害哦！110是错哪一题？
哦，第12题。
10，好，等一下我们来看。一题10分，满分120。你选几啊？
我吗？
对啊，
我选 B 啊。
12选 B 的话，后面要加句子哦。
哦，好像是。有辣子，还是
你这个应该只是演脱课程而已啊。
对啊，我没有发现，然后没有，我就觉得好像很顺。
哦，很顺，因为它12题后面的那个 a bad cold 是重感冒的意思，
我知道。
对不对？a bad cold 是名词的概念啊，所以这个应该不会选那个选项，你这个是粗心。
那个你都应该有个病还是什么？就是
哦，那是主被动的问题。
对，然后就想说应该会有个病还是什么，我就没选它。
OK， 对，好，因为感冒叫它的动词，你可以写 have a cold 或者是 catch a cold， 所以就变成本来是 he had a cold， 这边 having a cold 或者是 catching a cold。
那为什么要 ing， 然后
哦，因为他感冒，不是他被感冒，
哦，
对不对？是主动，主动的话是 VNG 或者是 having 加 bb， 你有可能是 having had a cold， 或者是 having caught a cold 也可以。如果你要表达之前感冒的话，你可以写 having， 你可以这样子啊。12题哈，你可以是 having a cold， 或者是having。那如果你要把动词换成 catch 的话，那你可以写 having caught a cold。
然后可以示范一下那个。
或者是那种
完成式跟那个被动有那个。
哦 ，OK，
搞混了。
啊，那个好，那个好，来，我跟你快速的解释一下，就完成式，然后又有主动跟被动，对不对？对不对？那这个地方确实比较容易搞混到。你记住一个简单的概念，就是说，被动式 passive voice。Whenever we talk about passive voice, there must be a verb, and there must be a passive participle. That's the rule. And the reason why we want to have the be verb up here, we're going to tell people about when this is done. So that's the tense we want to tell people. 被动式的概念是这样子的哈，因为它要表达被怎么样，对不对？所以它动词一律都改成它的过去分词。那你也知道英文或印欧语系，他们就写句子都会让人家很清楚的知道是现在式、过去式、未来式，所以他只好把那个时态利用 be 动词去呈现。可以接受吗？所以你要问的这个问题，它是这样子。This is the present tense, and this is the past, and maybe this is the future. And we have active voice, We have passive voice。这个可能不够写，你答案看好了，你几分？一题10分，然后我们100，100，恭喜你，没什么太大的问题啊。我先跟他讲一下这个问题是什么啊？这叫简单式，然后再来是进行式，然后是完成式，然后再来是完成进行式。英文有12种时态，你们知道吗？像有些文法学家是认为说根本没有12种时态，这只有现在式跟过去式。他们认为没有未来式，我个人也觉得未来式其实它就是加一个物有为，对不对？所以它那个只是加一个形状动词。你只要知道这些东西怎么分就好了 ，OK 好。然后这里面我把它写开一点，不然你来想一下。如果你要去区分主动被动的话，到底怎么分的？我先讲一下什么叫简单式。现在简单式简称为现在式，过去简单式简称过去式。简单式的意思是说，它就很单纯的要告诉你习惯，比如说现在简单式就是跟你讲现在的习惯嘛。过去简单式这个动作是放在过去的习惯或者过去的某个时间，他做了这样的事情，这样子。那进行式，我刚才我们讲说把它 narrow down， 对不对？你要把它输到一个时间点上面。以这个而言，就是指现在这个时候我正在干嘛；以这个而言，就是过去的某一个时间点上，当时那个人正在做什么。完成式，它是指从过去的一个起点到现在为止，还是到过去为止 ？OK， 这里可以接受吗？好，这两个词来，这叫现在。对不对？它可能是过去到现在的习惯，或者是只是单纯的叙述过去某个时间点或过去的习惯。我以前每天都会吃三明治当早餐，有没有？过去的习惯或者是现在的习惯，这个是指我在这个时间点。或者是在这个时间点上面，现在正在做什么？我当时在做什么？可以吗？好，这个是指现在完成式，就是指到现在为止；过去完成式就是指到过去为止。这里的现在或过去是指那个动作结束的时间点，结束的时间点哦。所以要画的话就是这样子。假设他们都是从过去同个起点，这个就是这样。它的时间节点是在过去，没有与现在无关。
我知道。
这个图跟它一模一样，这是强调用法。OK。
强调。
它就是它，它就是它。所以也就是说，他从以前一直到现在。然后还强调说，你看到现在都还在这样做 ，OK 吗？这个是不是指你看他现在正在做？这是从以前到现在，对不对？这个就是这两个的合体。他要讲说，你看他不但从以前到现在，他你到现在都还一直这样做，强调的意思。
那可以用在过去吗？就是绿色的，就是
可以啊，他有过去完成进行式啊，有啊。OK， 好，来，所以呢。我现在如果举例给你看的话就比如说 I eat beef， 像是我吃牛肉，对不对？这是我的习惯嘛。那如果现在正在吃的是 I am eating， 对不对？完成式是 I have eaten，beef 我就不写不加嘛，这是 I have been eating， OK， 这个是 I ate， I was eating， I had eaten， I had been 因，黄色的是主动。如果被动哦，被动，我把牛肉写成 it is eaten， 牛肉被吃掉了，这个会，好，过去式 it was eaten， 进行式，牛肉现在正在被我吃 ，it is。被动式我刚刚说一定要有这两个哦，一定要有 be 动词哦，它一定要有 PP 对不对？一定要有 be 动词，一定要有 PP， 这两个会一模一样，所以要加一个字进去。答对了，有没有正在的意思？加 ing，OK，、这个呢一样啊，把 is 改成 was， 这个都可以。你最卡的应该在这里，对不对？你数学好吗？一半一半吗？
对。
你可以用加的，如果你真的忘记那个怎么写的话，完成式叫做 have 加 PP， 这里可以接受吗？可以吗？
可以。
啊，我刚刚说被动叫什么加什么？
是加的。
被动，它的结构一定会有什么？
然后 ing。
be 动词加，这不是 ing， 被动一定是 be 动词再加谁 ？eaten 是 PP， PP 就是过去分词，所以被动式一定是 be 动词加 PP， 所以它写成被动，它有3个部分。第一个先写 have or has， 第二个把 be 动词写成 PP， 所以变成 been， 第三个写 PP。OK， 所以这个就变成了 It has been eaten. It had been eaten. 这个没有被动，因为它一个动词已经有3个字表达了，那你要写几个字？光一个动词哦，有没有？而且这是强调用法嘛，用几个字来改一下。OK， 了解吗？所以结论就是，这两个差在哪里？
一个是强调，然后一个是那个就是被动。
对，这个是主动，这个是被动，因为这是高中才教的完成进行式，这个是主动，这个是被动。这样解答你的问题吗？
哦，还可以。
那你就抄这样就好了，因为前面这个你都知道了。
需要练一下。
好 ，OK。完成进行式它没有被动。您如果有要上的话，我那个记得要去跟那个老师讲，我要把你们印讲义。然后我们有一个英文群组，所以每次什么作业啊，你们上课的表现的成果都会打在里面，让你们知道说你们这个地方 OK 啊。董鑫都没什么问题哦。立凯，你看几分？50。好，加油啊！
比我好。
立凯，你上次那个课文，我们讲到第几段？第3段还是第4段？你要准备笔记本把它抄完。啊？还没准备哦。那你准备一下，然后回去把上次那一章接好。 那你开始背了吗？有没有背？你现在要做一件事情啊，就是，可是我觉得这个是心理建设啊。你会觉得刷牙很麻烦吗？你每天会刷牙吗？会哦，早上一次，晚上一次。你现在会觉得刷牙很麻烦吗？还好嘛，习惯了，对不对？你现在这个英文也是一模一样的意思。你要它变好，对不对？每天在一个固定的时间，然后去背那个课文，哪怕只有5分钟、3分钟，从有做开始，就跟你做刷牙的，做刷牙，你刷后来你就觉得习惯了，它背英文也是一样 ，OK？ 但是你从来不做，你就一定不会好，这是肯定的 ，OK？ 还有问题吗？你们应该还没有拿到课本嘛，对不对？学校的课本对啊。那你们有去下载那个手机的 app 吗？龙腾有吗？哦，所以可以先练习的。你们也有下载吗？
没有。
啊，你是不知道有这个东西还是？啊，真的还假的？你有带手机来吗？你给他看一下。有。那个龙腾版的啦。对，他不但把单字都在那个 app 里面了，连课文也都在里面。然后课文的中段、英段、通都有，你可以要求他念快一点，念慢一点，然后可以背单词，还可以玩游戏。对，这个，等一下，
哦，我没有下载新教材。
哦，你没有下载新教材 ？OK， 好，我跟你讲，你回去你的 App 里面你打龙，你是 iPhone 吗？iPhone 可以吗？你那是 iPhone 吗？
哦，我不是，
我是 Android 系统iPhone 我就不知道可不可以了。你打，
可以吧？他好像也有那个，在那个智慧网上面好像也说有资源。
你看一下，你打龙腾 Go。对，iPhone 的系统不知道它有没有相容。
就好像有吧，就是讲义上
好像有，对不对？
就是那个
还是可以扫 QR code。对，就这个，对，就是这个，
绿色的。
对，绿色那个，对，就是它，所以你的iOS 系统也有啊。然后你下载下来之后，那你就去看第2册的东西。你其实不一定只能下载第2册，你想要先预习第3册、第4册哪一册，就是都可以把它下载。然后你下载之后，它就会有单字，它会念给你听，也有例句，然后课文也有课文的中单音。对，如果有时候那个坐车的时候想要复习一下，你就放来听也可以。对。然后它可以连接那个 Quizlet， 你知道 Quizlet 吗？
不知道。
Quizlet 就是一个背单词的软体。对，可以玩游戏的。你可以，年轻人你们自己多摸一摸就知道了，有很多啊，现在网上有很多，有用。OK， 好，这个没问题吗？这样是 OK 了哈。好，然后我们还有另外一个方法，很尴尬，应该讲不完。好，没关系，我们就讲多少算多少，好不好？来，再来我们看一下22页，叫做视 A 为 B 的概念。OK， 好，22页。至少我们把第一个讲完啊，视 A 为 B。这个每一次月考几乎都会看到这些字，我不知道你们有没有印象。视 A 为 B， 就把 A 当成 B 这样子。那一共有6个词组你要背，有3个是单字类的，还有3个是片语类的。那就是指说把 A 看成是 B， 所以最简单就是把是就是看嘛，所以把 A 看成 B， 所以最简单的就是写看这个字叫做看，叫做 see， 对不对 ？OK，see 或者是 view 也是看。还有一个字可能你们就比较少背到，叫做 regard。 regard 也是看的意思，OK 哈，所以 see view regard， 或者是把 A 想成是 B， 想怎么说 ？T 开头的，是不是 think？ 那你要写 think of， 这是片语类的，接下来三个是片语。OK， 看还有另外一个叫 look。OK， 那你要写 look upon， 你写 look 要配合它吗？还有一个叫说明，叫 refer， 这个你要特别注意，它的过去式是 red。它的过去式跟过去分词，很多人会以为加 ed 而已，不是，它是加 red， 不是怕你们不会搞的。其他的会写C 的三代是 C so think， 对不对？那其他他们都是加 ed，regard 也是加 ed，think 的话是 think thought thought，OK。那个 as 就当做作为的意思。那它怎么造句哈？比如说，我把国文老师当成我的好朋友。好，我视国文老师为我的好朋友。那我那么多钱，爱写完之后，随便你写一个字 ，I refer to my Chinese teacher as my good friend. I think of my Chinese teacher as a good friend. I look upon my Chinese teacher as my good friend. 通通都一样。OK， 因为它写法比较多，所以你要记这个，而且要特别小心这种，尤其是最后这个。OK， 这个视为左边。那如果右边要写说 A 被视为 B 怎么办？来，这个时候是不是出现被动式？被动式就是刚才那个博宏问的，博宏不是问说被动式到底怎么写的，对不对？他就是先写一个 be 动词 ，A 被视为，对不对？然后就要把这个字写成 PP 了。来 ，C 的生态叫做吸收，有背过吗 ？Sing， S-E 的，这就是个 PP 哦。接下来你要把这些所有这一栏的字，通通变成它的过去分词。What about view? You put ed. These are regular verbs. Whenever you talk about regular verb, what is a regular verb? Regular verb means that usually when it comes to past tense or past participle, we put ed, then it's a regular verb. However, words like see, you don't put ed, right? The past tense of see is saw. So this kind of verb is irregular verb. What does it mean regular? Regular means that it follows a certain rule. If there is a rule, then it is regular. If there is no rule, then it is irregular. Just like if you are a government employee, you work in the morning at 9 a.m., you go back home at 5 p.m., every day, 9 to 5. 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So you have a regular 9 to 5 job because you do that every day. There is a rule for you to follow. But if it's irregular, it means that it doesn't follow any rule. Just like you see over here, see is an irregular verb. View is a regular verb. Alright? Okay? 所以这个叫做有规律的、有规则的，所以这叫规则动词，这叫不规则动词。Okay, so regard is also a regular verb, so you simply put ed because it follows the rules to put ed to form the past tense and past participle. Alright? And then think. Oh, think is an irregular verb. So what is the past tense? Think. Thought. Very good. Excellent. Thougght is an irregular verb. You don't put ed. You cannot put ed because it's irregular verb. Alright? And then look upon. Look is also a regular verb. Don't forget about upon here. So looked upon. And the last one is refer. Refer is also a regular verb, but because you can see er over here, so we put red. Alright? 这样就变成 A 被是的一个 OK 好你可以看一下下面的第一题 Mr. Lam refers to the dictionary as the most useful reference book OK refer to 到底什么意思啊 refer 是动词这个字就是说明的意思所以参考书的英文叫做 reference book 因为它提供了好多的说明让你可以了解很多的知识 OK 所以呢那他在说明 A 这个东西的时候他把它当作所以呢他用到的是 refer to 啊他一定会配 to 哦所以有答案了吗 Mr. Lane refers to the dictionary as the most useful reference book 所以改成被动的话什么被视为最有用的参考书应该是被动本来是老师把这个参考书视为最有把字典视为最有用的参考书所以什么被视为字典所以你应该先写什么 The dictionary very good so I'm going to write down the dictionary So after writing down the word in the dictionary, what else are we going to write over here? The dictionary, 然后呢？被视为，对不对？那这个 be 动词要写谁 ？The dictionary 后面配谁？原本什么时态？原本 refer 时是现在式嘛，那你就写现在式的 be 动词，就写 is 对不对？啊，为什么？哦 ，dictionary 是哦，对不起，我这边写成 the dictionary， 我看错，对不起。我上面是写 dictionary 是不是？我真的打错，对不起。dictionaries， 然后再来要写 r， 对 ，r， 然后再来 referred， 然后呢 referred to as are referred to as 对 the most 好，这一关过了，我们就简单了 the most useful reference book. By Mr. Lam. Okay.第二题挑战一下。It is regarded as inconsiderable to arrive early for a meeting in some countries. 以划底线部分当代词改写。换句话说 ，it 的地方就要改成 to arrive early for meeting 或者是 arriving early for meeting， 对不对？所以变成 to arrive 或者是 arriving early for a meeting。然后再来被视为要写成原本什么时态？
类似的，
对，原本是
被动的。
对被动嘛，对被动。要被动的话，你要写一个 be 动词啊，再加一个 bb 啊，所以 be 动词写谁？
哇，
为什么？
为什么说被意思呢？
因为前面写 is 是现在式啊，所以这个是谁 ？is， 对不对？然后 regarded， 然后再来呢？再来还有一个 us， 然后后面 inconsiderable in some cultures。再一次。哦 ，inconsiderate 啊，我写错了，是不是 ？inconsiderate 不是 inconsiderable，considerate 我写错。consider 是动词，是想的意思。OK。considerate 跟 considerable 有差别 ，considerable 是指这个人很贴心，他做什么事情都是可以先帮你着想的意思。OK， 好，好，最后一题你们会学习，我太好奇了。regular 有看到那个字哈？你看到第二个字吗 ？Getting regular 那是有规律的哦，有规律的运动，一般来讲会被视为塑身最有效的方法。我跟你讲，这4个字都是被视为，对不对？你们会学记。而且 A 以前有看过，对不对 ？Consider 有看过啊，就是视为啊，所以你们会选 A 吗？我太好奇了，懂没有？对，来，如果是视 A 为 B 有2套，刚刚介绍第1套，你可以看句型2。句型2里面 consider 它是要写成 consider A， 它不可以 as B， 它要 to be B， 它不可以 as B。OK 哈，这个考试很重要，因为中文意思都一样哦，可是英文会区别不了，这个我们下次再继续讲啊。那 B 哪里错 ？refer 一定要配 to。OK， 如果视为的话 ，refer 要配 to， 那 thought 要配谁？哦，那只有 regard 可以造写 ，OK 吗？这样 OK 吗？好吧，那我们今天就先上到这个地方了，好不好？好，如果你们有上的话，我这个讲义还要拿去印，所以要先跟老师讲一下，他通知我印一下。好，有上记得要加入我们那个群组，老师会跟你说怎么加。OK， 好，辛苦各位同学了。你回去笔记本准备好，好不好？好，学校的东西背一下。